not really looking to climb the ladder, I'm looking to kind of like maintain it. But in order to do that, I need to have more people help us to take that, some of that off of us, have more balance in our life. Having somebody work for us, I think they'll also have that balance as well, because they can go away, they can, they don't have to be available on a Sunday for an open house because we can help them.
One of the other advantages that I forgot to mention in terms of making systems is that you do get to go away on vacation. And you know that the business will be covered while you're away. But even more important, in my opinion, is, and Judy Ledour teaches a class on how to successfully sell or acquire a thriving real estate business. We don't realize that we've got something that is potentially worth a lot of money, especially if we've got a team. And so if you're building these systems, if you're training people, if you're doing all of those things, you can actually sell your business. How many of you have even thought about selling your business? See, most people, I'm thrilled to hear that, but most people will say, okay, yeah, I'll take a referral fee on this and that. Well, we had one agent that came to Judy's class 2 years ago, and she got something like, she was in 6 figures, wasn't she? Yeah. She got 6 figures for a business that she sold. And I think it was like more than 100,000. I think it was 300,000 that she got for her business. Now, she's, there was a transition period, but anyway, I digress. Okay, just a couple of other questions, and then I'm going to open it up to anybody else that wants to ask questions. These two things are not necessarily generic or specific to teams, but what, if anything, are you doing to prepare for a potential shift in the market?
I think you do your business the same way, no matter what the market is. You have to stay in contact with your clients, because our business is 90% referral based. So no matter what the market is, we're counting on our past clients and their referrals and their friends and relatives and everything else to keep us going into the future. And that's why we're always staying in touch with them. We're always in their face to some extent to make sure that they remember us even in the slower times. You've got to be consistent with your marketing. If you think that you're going to put out one postcard or one newsletter and that's going to carry you into the future, it's not going to. You've got to be consistent with whatever marketing you're going to do and make sure that you are in touch with your past clients.
Yeah, it's interesting. Somebody did the peak that your business goes really strong, and then while you're doing that, you forget to market, and then you drop, or you close all your deals, and you have to start all over. And that, years ago, when we kind of started the business and trying to grow it, we realized that the one thing that was happening was we were really busy, and so our marketing stopped, and then we had to start it all over again. So that was why one of the most important people that we brought onto our team was someone who could take that marketing while we were out selling homes and meeting with people, so that marketing was consistent. Like, we didn't want to miss a month of sending out a postcard or sending out a birthday card or an anniversary thing. So if that kept consistent, we found that our business also was pretty consistent.
My business has always been and will always be seller focused. So we just went through the recession of 2008, so I can handle a down market. Actually, what happens is actually in a little bit less robust market than this, they need us more. And basically, good agents do a little bit better. There's a lot of people that are flooding, getting their license now, and everybody that picks up a golf club cannot play golf, and everybody that gets their license cannot sell real estate.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. There's a couple things you can do though when the market does shift. That listings are always the leverage of your business, but if you can, a lot of people are just flooding the market right now getting their real estate license. Anybody can sell a house right now in a hot market. Some of you guys may not want to think that the market's going to shift, but it's going to shift. We're seeing people pay prices for houses that there's no way in hell I would pay what some of these people are paying for these homes. So when you see that happening, it's going to shift. But what happens when the market shifts? Less homes start to sell and homes start to expire. And then if you're good, if you've got a really good expire strategy of taking expires, then you can take more listings and you can really gain steam going in when the market makes another shift. Another thing you can do is call the people that are 30, 60, 90 days later on their mortgage payments. If the market shifts, a lot of times the economy shifts as well. You can can call those people. And then if you've got one big investor, if you can go ahead and try to secure a big investor for when the market shifts to start buying and scooping up rental property, it'll be a big help.
And don't you think too that, and this is kind of what you're all saying, is that as the market gets worse, if it gets worse, and we're praying that it won't, but it's like Caleb says, it will sooner or later, that they're going to drop off the sister that got a license and sells one house a year, and their best friend from high school, and all of that, and they're going to go back to the pros. They're going to go back to the people who really know what they're doing.
Well, also, like Caleb said, you're going to have a lot of agents drop out of the industry because you can't afford it. It is a business. You have to put money into your business. If they're not out there and they can't handle the drop of market or the slower market, they'll be gone, and then there'll be more listings for those that can get through the dry spell.
And one thing I will say is, as we know it's coming, so start saving for a rainy day is what any and every coach is teaching you now. So go ahead and start putting money away. Anybody and everybody can sell a home right now. I don't care what anybody in this room thinks they own. Anybody can sell a home in a hot market. But start stashing some of it away for a rainy day.
Yeah, Dave Beeson said in the last hot market that a head of cabbage could sell a house. And he's probably right. That's what we learned. Yeah. This is two more questions from me, and then again we'll open it up. One is, again, not specific to teams, but how do you compete against the Redfins, the 1% listing business? And I understand that you're going to be wowing them with all of the stuff that you've got, but there are a lot of people who say, oh, I don't need that.
There'll always be a Walmart customer. There'll always be a Saks customer. I cater more towards, I have a very CEO clientele. I mean, this is Research Triangle Park. It's very techy. These guys don't have time to mess with a maybe so, hope so deal. They're looking for a sure thing when they call me.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, I think some people there's nothing we can be able to do to get their business. They're gonna. We've always from day one said we're not the discount broker. We're not. In fact, we were asked to go to another brokerage years ago.
You were.
I know, hard to believe, but we didn't. But one of the things that made us decide not to, honestly, was that the broker used to advertise that he would do listings for 1%. And we made it very clear that we were not a discount broker. Honestly, I think people actually appreciate it. Some people will just leave no matter what. But I think a lot of people will appreciate if they see that you have value, if they can see that you have systems in place, that you have a team, that you're offering more than maybe what a Redfin agent would do or somebody else, a discount broker. Ultimately, I think people will see the value in it. The people who don't, they're going to leave. There's nothing you can do.
I mean, just at the end of the day, like you said, there's always going to be discount brokers. One thing you can do is go in MLS and pull their statistics. And I promise you, if I had to bet, every one of you guys' statistics as far as days on market is a lot better than them. And if you can tie it back to how many mortgage payments that they're going to have to make based on their extra days on market, that'll help you out. And then if you can also play in a third-party story about, have you ever gone with the cheaper quote and find out that you got what you paid for, and then you had to go back and you had to redo it all over again? So with us, would you agree that these are proven, repeatable results that can get you guaranteed results?
Okay, I'm going to ask the question of these two guys because they started out as partners, and actually I was very interested to find out that they didn't synchronize their outputs.
That's right.
They're brothers. Partnerships versus teams.
Interesting. I mean, when we started out, it was actually two of us, because we actually have another brother who's in the industry as well, so we started out with the three of us. But it was just the three of us. We did not have any other agents on our team. We did not have an administrative assistant. Pretty much, again, because our team is a little bit different than some other teams, we pretty much work the same way. We each work with buyers, we each work with sellers. The nice part now is we don't have to do all the back end work because we do have someone who takes care of turning in the contracts and contacting the clients, contacting the agents for feedback. So a team does make it a lot easier where you can bring in an administrator to handle that type of thing for you. You just also have to decide if you have partners, how you're going to divide up tasks amongst ourselves. So one of the first things is we have different strengths. I have a banking background, a financial background, so I handle that part of it. Richard has more of a marketing and sales background, so he kind of deals with more of that stuff as far as the administration goes and how we deal with our team.
I'm in trouble already because I said partnerships don't work. No, but you've got family. I actually have 2 of my children in the business in the brokerage part, so I'm kind of similar to you. So you're going to do that. I do think you need to have clearly defined lines of what you will do. And if we've got an issue, let's say in finance, then who do we go to? And if we've got an issue in marketing and sales, who do we go to? So that would be.
Okay, actually, that's the end of the questions that were written down that I felt were kind of relevant. I know that some of you had other questions. Does anybody have further questions that they want to ask the panel? How do we do this? Can you just shout it out?
Kayla, I noticed that you have a website. It says Kayla Pearson Team Great Fans. Do you use that a lot? And do you use Facebook groups?
How'd you find that? That's awesome. You do what? How'd you find it?
I just found it. I looked.
Okay, that's our Rating Fan Club site for our past clients. I'm glad you brought that up. That's cool. This is basically, it's a site. If you go to the cpteamratingfanclub.com, I think it's the site. You can find it easier on Facebook if you type in like
I found it on Facebook.
Cable Pearson Team Rating Fans. But it's a site that we've got like skill saws, pressure washers, party tents, party coolers, party chairs, weed eaters. It's just a bunch of stuff that our clients can use for free. I'll tell you, I've had it for 6 months and I've never had anybody use any of it, but I've gotten really, really good feedback on how good of an idea it is. And then every month on that page, I don't know how much you looked into that page, we do like a giveaway to where we Facebook friend all of our past clients, and then every month we do a giveaway to where, like this month, is whoever puts in the coolest carved pumpkin. So everybody posts all the past clients and their kids post a picture of their carved pumpkin, and whoever wins that will win like a cooler or win some type of giveaway every month. But good question.
One more question. Who made it for you? Did you find someone local, or is it something that you did you bought?
I have a marketing company that one of my buddies and I started. It's Ludify, L-U-D. It's Let Us Do It For You is the acronym, Ludify. And the girl that does all the design stuff, she designed it and built it.
Okay, some other questions? Yes.
Do you brand yourself other than the Remax logo, or do you have different taglines, or?
Sell a home every 16 hours. Sell the most pre-owned homes of anyone in Wake County.
So do you have a different logo though for your?
Marty, the article like.
We do also. We have our own logo, and it's the Prigal Brothers, the best deal you'll ever make.
But you do also brand with Remax.
Absolutely.
And you're in complete compliance with state and
And that's come up
Same size
in even
font.
bigger contention here now, isn't it? It is, it's already, yeah, it's a huge issue in South Carolina, so yes, you have to brand it still with Remax. We do as well, we've still got our Caleb Pearson Team logos. We do a guaranteed sale too, which is pretty good. We guarantee that you sell it within 90 days, or we'll cut our commission in half.
Okay. Who else?
Yes, what do you see for your respective teams in 5 years from now?
Good question. The question was, what do you see for your respective teams in 5 years from now?
I hope it's not 5 years, but I got to do 1,000 homes a year. I got to.
And where are you now?
500.
Good. double in 5 years. Caleb, what do you say in 5 years?
I think it's going to grow to where, not right now, it seems like there's a lot of people capped at that 400 to 600 transactions, and then their teams fall apart, and then they rebuild them, and then they get 600 and they fall apart, and they rebuild them. I know a lot of people that have done that. But I do think someone's going to figure out how to start getting to that 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 transaction model here in the next couple of years.
Retirement.
Though I know that I think that there are a lot of people who are all excited because they can do 100 or 300 or 600, and the plain fact is with a little bit more effort, and it doesn't take all that much more effort, you could do 200 or 400 or 700 without breathing hard. You really could, but you just have to get the systems in place. You have to get your education in place. You have to go and see, who's where and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's very doable. I hope, Marty, you'll come back and tell us that you make 1,000. Okay. Who else? Anybody? Yes.
Marty, I think you're great. Exciting to listen to you. I could listen to you all day. One of the things that you said that I'm just wondering, with the kind of volume that you're doing, you say you don't farm. In my head, you must be farming in something that you're not calling farming. But you're saying I just listed it just sold parts on a regular basis, and if you do the same areas on a regular basis, that's farming.
Right, farm.
Gotcha.
Actually, I don't farm. I don't. Let me tell you something. I think the first elementary thing about advertising is sell a house, tell the world you sold it. Actually, the sold sign, not on the sign. I'm actually developing a standalone sold sign and a web page to go to. I told you we do onboarding with comingverysoon.com, and now we got an individual sign that says soldverysoon.com and my number. So getting people, we have the sold signs in my communities, and yeah, there's probably some areas that were more prevalent. We're countywide, and we have the biggest county in North Carolina. I mean, I was just thinking about driving from without your traffic, driving from one end of our county to the north side to the south side, probably take you an hour and a half. It's a big place.
Who else? Anybody? Yes.
Yes, has anyone considered expansion?
I think Marty's looking double.
No, you mean in
Another
market? Other market areas, yes.
Honestly, I think that's a bunch of hype. If you want to know my truth about it, I think the best way to start a business within a business, and that's what a team is a business is that RE/MAX. Don't give me expansion. You're just actually, I never wanted an expansion. I now have a satellite office that I'm still in the red with, and I'm still mad. Because, it's just like breaking even. It's a lot of trouble, it's a lot of time. I just don't get it. I think one big office where you're making a lot of sales and you've got services for your people is a great thing. Now, you may have satellite offices in an area like this, but I think that expansion office is a bunch of junk. The best way you make money in this way, the best way you make money in this business is have some fabulous buyer's agents. Figure out how to have a career path for them. Find some fabulous listing agents and figure out how to have a career path for them. That's my opinion.
She nailed that one. She nailed that one. I agree with Marty on that one. I just think, does anybody in here have more than 2% market share of their entire market? Then don't expand. Don't go jumping into a market where you've got no signage, no market share, you've got no name recognition, or you're doing it and you don't understand the market there. Don't go chasing that rabbit until you've got a big portion of your own market share and you really don't. You've got proven, repeatable systems that will work anywhere.
One of the things that helped us actually is our team, we're licensed in Maryland, Virginia, and DC. So we're always able to keep a client within our team. So if somebody says they want to start out in Maryland, like I do Maryland, DC, if they say they want to start out in Maryland and DC, I can still keep them. If they're starting in Maryland, when you go to Virginia, I don't lose them. I can have Larry does Virginia. So it also helps just in terms of, we're out there meeting more people because, if somebody's doing some work in Virginia, they're meeting people out there. So it's helped us in terms of expanding just in our small.
We should explain though to Caleb and Marty that we are in the tri-state area, and so it does make sense, I should say, to be. And I mean, I'm a broker even up in Pennsylvania, so I'm a broker in all 3 of those jurisdictions plus Pennsylvania, so it does make sense for us to do that. But
He means like just
Yeah.
a couple hours away.
I agree. I mean, I heard what he said, and I agree.
Well, I
with you.
meant actually not necessarily a couple hours away. If say you're in say North Virginia, and then you realize, well, the area down in Richmond, you can send a lot of referrals to over time, and then like it makes sense to. I have a expansion partner per se down there already. Why not? Since I'm sending so much business down there, and that's the next area where the price point is relevant, then versus just getting this 25% referral, why not have a place there, or then expand to the next place with the Charlottesville, whatever. I mean, but not necessarily 2 hours away. Especially here, such a large area, you can still stay within the same MLS. Just the thought.
I can tell you from having bought Remax 100 that even in this area, the marketplaces are so different. They really are. Southern Maryland is very different from Howard County, which is very different from Springfield, which is very different from Gaithersburg. And so until you really have that handle on things, and I think I'm just sort of starting after 18 months to get a handle on the different marketplaces. I think you need to really make sure that you are ready for that. I don't think it's a horrible idea, but I do agree with these guys, with Caleb especially. If you got 2% or less, I wouldn't do it. Look, we all know Craig Northrup and Bob Lucido and all those guys go all over the place. But they're companies within a company. And they're very different animals in more ways than one. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. Any other questions? Yes.
This is for Caleb. Do you have any women working in your company?
Do you have any women working in your company, Caleb?
What is that supposed to mean?
Marty doesn't have any men.
Say that again?
Listen, because you start so early and you do this fitness stuff, and I just curious.
Oh yeah, they want to get up early and get big stuff and come in at about 7. Yeah, we're actually about 50-50.
Really?
So there. Anybody else? Yes.
I have another question regarding the commission structure. So when you're paying the commissions that you do to your agents, are you also paying all of their fees and dues and everything else, or are they paying that themselves?
I pay 50%, about 50% of their dues. I want them to have some skin in the game,
Thank you.
That's where I was saying, before you start building a team, before you get too deep into the whole, go ahead and put as much of it back on the agent as possible.
And you guys, sort of the same thing, right?
Yeah, we pay most of their desk fees, everything. They just pay a few of the fees, like the advertising and that type of stuff, but we pay the rest.
They do pay a desk fee or something like that, I think? No?
We pay the desk fee.
Wow.
They pay their own, they pay all their own dues as far as the different associations.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, if you grow too big, he says that'll kill you. Right?
Yeah, that'll hurt you. But that check is pretty big. That amount does if you front and pay all of your agent's dues and MLS dues and their MLS card fee and their all their marketing fees, and you have a listing coordinator and a closing coordinator, and you pay all that. That number gets pretty big, pretty fast as you start to scale.
So your inside salespeople even can pay as well?
They're not licensed.
Oh.
Okay.
Is your listing and your coordinator, their license?
Just closing.
Closing coordinator, not the listing.
Just getting pictures.
How are your listing and closing coordinators compensated your assistants behind the scene?
Well, in other words, are they salary, are they commission-based, or?
Everybody on my team's salaried, and I think they get paid really well. I think that's local. I mean, I don't know what a good salary is for your area. But, and also I give quarterly bonuses, so it depends on profit. My formula for profit.
We're also salary.
Same here.
Okay, so everybody's salaried up here, right? And none of them are independent contractors, except for your ISAs?
They're independent.
All right.
You all have votes to sell those.
Do you have a coach?
I've done current.
I do with Kenya Reese, Jay Kinder, coach.
Is that an AEA or?
It's in a. You look familiar. Were you in Dallas last week?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, anything else? Going once? Going twice? Thank you very much, guys.